Hello, everybody. Welcome to Comic Core Unlimited. It is Wednesday. Hopefully, you just enjoyed TiVo and Lord of the Long Boxes, and now you've jumped over to us. We are the Wednesday show looking at the books from this week, what we've been reading, looking at news, enjoying this comic community, and sharing what we've been finding. I am John's Comics with Kids, and our host for always on this Comic Core channel is Mr. JD Comics. Hello, sir.
Hello. How is everybody out there? Looks like we got some people hanging out in the chat. That's cool. Thanks, John.
And then we've got Jason from Comics Misexplained.
Howdy, what's up?
What's the record behind you tonight?
Oh, man. Yeah, we got Metz. This is their second album. You ever hear Metz? M-E-T-Z?
No, but I'm a music moron, so don't judge me.
No.
They're on the label. They're on the label Sub Pop, but they remind me of like Nirvana, but like 2.0. They're very grungy, alternative, and very like almost like groove centric. It's awesome. This is like the special color edition. This one goes for a little more than the regular one. Sold out right away, I think, the first day. But this is my favorite album of theirs. They have 3 albums out now, I believe, 3 or 4. But their second one, Metz 2, is very good. If you like Nirvana kind of music-wise, not so much vocal-wise, but check out Metz. They're awesome.
You got the shiny cover, too.
Yeah, it's all holographic and shiny.
I'm going to say hello to some folks in the chat. Jason and I were the first 2 in here, tearing it up.
That's right. Usually
then,
Caleb's the first one, and TJ or something
yeah,
had to beat him.
He's clearly doing something right now. JP Budget Collecting is in there. Airboy the Barbarian, which is a phenomenal name for a channel. Excellently done. Perry Comics, my new lost buddy, is in there. White Whale, hello, Alec. How are you doing? Let's see, Jack Yo is in there. Stephen Oates. Chad, 90 Miles from Comics, is already dropping his moniker in the chat there. Marvel Hunter and Mastodon is in the chat. Thank you for coming by. So for people that are new to the channel, we are the Wednesday night show. And what we like to start off with, we are readers. We buy comics to read them. So we like to discuss what we've been reading lately. And I'm going to throw this to JD because this was a big issue day for him. The end of a saga, the end of a whole run. JD, how was your reading today?
Well, today Spawn 298 came out. Well, no, let's just get right to the point. Well, pretty cool. This Amazing Spider-Man 298 McFarlane cover. Kind of redoing this for 298, 299, 300, and 301. Excited about the 301. I'm excited this is going that far. Congratulations, Todd. You know, this is your best work, so you don't do a lot of good ones. Next one I picked up would be Thor. This leads into my next book here. It's Thor 14. It's got the old school Thor cover, which I love. It's like Ribic, I think, did this one. It's just really cool. It's kids taking a selfie, taking a picture, reflection of Thor flying by. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, different. And I picked up War of the Realms, the 6th, the final chapter, whatever you want to call it. I picked up the Mike Del Mundo cover. It's shiny.
That's cool.
It's nice. It's just cool. It was a standard cover price.
I like that.
I did like this one. It's the Young Guns.
Did the Thor issue take place before or after War of the Realms?
Okay. We're not going to do the whole spoiler warning. I'm not really paying attention to the chat right now, but one thing I was thinking about was in this War of the Realms, I think it was a great ending. I think it was great. It wraps it up better than anything else. And they did tie in one small piece from each of the
tie-ins. Yeah.
One piece from each that you might be a little over your head, but not too much. Like it might be one panel, that would be it. If you just read War of the Realms, this wraps it up for you. Very intense, very much what I would say Aaron prepared for these 2 books. I would recommend people read this first.
Okay.
And then this, or if you just read this, I read it in the opposite order. I read War of the Realms first and this, and it didn't matter. This was even better. Because like not a prequel, kind of like in what's going on like, there's like 2 panels and you're like, how the heck did that happen? You know?
Mm-hmm.
This tells, it's all Thors.
Yeah.
all Malekith. And this is where it all comes in. You know, the whole thing. This is all Asgardian stuff. It's really good. And I would say this would be obviously my pick of the week. I think I don't know if anybody who's read it and has followed up with War of the Realms, what's your opinion on it? I think this is the end of an arc. It definitely sounds like an ending, and really good.
I'm halfway through this last issue of War of the Realms, and how do you feel about them using all the Thors again? Because before they did it with God the Butcher.
Same writer.
Right. Yeah, same writer. But
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about them using the same kind of tool to defeat the bad guy again? You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't too keen on that, but I'm like, oh, that's cool. Plus, you got Jane Thor on top of that. I'm like, that's even
Right.
better.
So
With
plus
that cool
one.
hammer. That hammer was awesome from a dead universe. That was awesome. So I
Yep.
hope that hammer sticks around.
You'll see. You'll see.
Okay. But yeah, so as far as the like trope of all of them together going to time travel and getting all the Thors, I'm like, again, that's kind of lame. But then it was really cool to see. Art's beautiful, and it had a little different twist. So it's still good.
I think the rehashing of that storyline of the God Butcher and how the God Butcher, it comes into there. They even quote it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we did this before. But the key with this one is when you read this, you figure out a little bit more when you read the Thor.
Okay.
You figure out a little bit more about the importance of it, of getting it together so King Thor can actually happen, you know, and how it is he's, you know, you start in the beginning with getting, you know, he's like a pin crucified on a freaking tree.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You know?
And that's how he lost his eye too. Like he
And
sacrificed.
now it's official. Thor has, and then you know, you can obviously see the similarities now. And at the end of it, you'll figure out what happens. I mean,
do you think they did the?
It's
the
so hard
whole...
not to talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they did that as a throwback to God the Butcher specifically because of that symbiote sword?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That is actually this thing, because immediately there's even a reference to Absolute Carnage coming in.
Cool. Yeah, I figured it would lead
Exactly
right into it.
I mean, because there's new powers,
cool.
You know, Venom he's back.
I knew it was gonna continue right into it. That's
And
awesome.
and he says, I have to go Absolute Carnage or something.
Sick. I can't wait.
You know, yeah, exactly. What, you know, I kind of think this is where this the wrap up this is. It says, hey, I took all your cool characters. Now what happens to them? Really quickly, Daredevil does not stay the guy, you know.
Oh man, you figure he has to go back to regular.
He has to go.
Man, that was so cool. Yeah. God.
But
I saw the one panel so far that I've read through it, and he was yelling something. He was just running with the sword. I was like, oh, that's so cool again, man.
Yep, that is
great character. What a great character.
Yep.
Well, what else did you read, JD?
That was it this week.
Okay.
What about you, Jason? Sorry.
I woke up really late today. I woke up at 7 p.m. I went to bed at 11 a.m. So that means yesterday I was up for like 28 hours, 30 hours. But today I got to read Action Comics 1012. It's this whole entire Leviathan thing is kind of growing on me. I'm now looking at it as not as much as a Superman story, but more as a spy espionage story set in the setting of Superman. And objectively, just looking at a comic like that, it makes it much more enjoyable as to opposed of a Superman story. You know, I don't think anything could beat Tomasi and Gleason's runs. I think they nailed the characterization of Superman, how he should act, and you learn moral stories along the way. And, you know, I think Bendis just picked that because it's a moneymaker. You can put in new characters, you can get new licenses of characters, put them in movies, put them in TV shows. He's a businessman, smart move. But at the same time, you know, he created some characters. Rogozar wasn't working, you know, big bad guy. He's like, okay, well, what do I write best? Spy stories. He always writes spy stories and action stuff. So he's like, let me put that into Superman. And so now, objectively looking at it as a spy thriller and not a Superman story, really, it makes it a lot more enjoyable. So now it's growing on me. In this issue, you learn that you had this kind of invisible mafia happening inside Metropolis. They like hide themselves in a bunker. And at first, I thought they were part of Leviathan, but they're not. They're pretty much run by a King Queen, or I guess a Queen Pin, I should say.
Okay.
And Robin Good, who is the Red Cloud, is kind of her big henchman or sidekick in this whole entire thing, and she works for the Daily Planet. So she kind of has like a duality there, and so she the art in this was amazing. The art is really really good, and I recommend that. But at the end of this, you see this one kind of anti-hero approached by Leviathan, and so now you can kind of see that Leviathan and this invisible mafia are not really connected. They're kind of, I think, at arms with each other, or at least arm's length away from each other. So it's kind of still building up, and it's interesting. I'm kind of it's been growing on me, and I like it now, I think.
Very nice.
Batman Damned 3, it wraps it up. I was very confused at first. After issue 2, you're like, how are they going to wrap this up in one issue? There's so much like that happened previously. And, at the ending of this, you see that it is a continuation of Azzarello's Joker book from like at first people were like, maybe it's not, but at the ending, it's the ending of the Joker book. So you're like, that's exactly what I thought, and all the everything kind of lined up. I'm still kind of ambiguous. The ending was kind of ambiguous, kind of open ended. I'm not quite sure what it means. What do you think of that ending, John?
I don't want to get into it too much. It's the book club book for tonight.
Right.
Yeah, I did think there were certain elements that were not fully explained. I did like the way it had to build towards the death of Joker. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of like where it was going. I like that they didn't feel the need to include the Joker all the way through. I like that a lot of other characters got a chance to shine. So that element I like. Did it stick the landing? I don't quite know that it stuck the landing for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was a little too like pseudo intellectual for me. Kind of like Azzarello's like kind of philosophy. He's getting up there in age, and I think maybe that's kind of messing with his mind a little bit. So like you see like in the writing, it's kind of like a little existential, a little nihilist, which I'm totally down with. But at the same time, it got a little jumbled with the dialogue, a little confusing, not so focused. But I still enjoyed it. I thought the art was great. I kind of like the ending, but I'm not sure what the ending means. But hopefully, maybe I'm like, is there going to be a Joker damned book now? You know what I mean? You never know. But to continue on, Detective Comics 1006 was awesome. You see the Spectre again. The Spectre was in Batman Damned. Spectre is now this new arc. This was super bloody and gory unexpectedly. I think it's an amazing start. Tomasi is doing an amazing job, and this hooked me right away. You know how they have the credits in the writing, like either in the beginning or the ends? This one was like in the middle of the story. It like built up to it, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, like the name of like the story arc right in the middle of the story. I thought that was so cool and a totally different touch. So I'm totally down for Detective Comics. This arc, I think is gonna be better than the Gotham Knight. Justice League Dark has been amazing. Before you had Zatanna and Wonder Woman became the new, I guess, Lords of Chaos. And then now they have Swamp Thing and Detective Chimp and Bat Thing, or what's it? Man Bat. Yeah, they kind of turn them, and they start turning the tides against the other old school Lords of Order. So it's pretty cool, man. It's really great. I recommend. Like, John, I know you're reading Flash now. If you want to give Justice League Dark a chance, like
it's pretty good.
Yeah, dude, you gotta get into it. Like, it's a good story. I think I've been enjoying it. I have it on
I read it on the DC app.
Oh, cool. Yes, are they all available on there?
The first early, the whole beginning part of it. I think like two behind.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because with the Marvel one, it's like 5 behind or something. Like that. Yeah, it's a pretty good 6-month wait.
Yeah,
on Marvel. Flash, read that continues on. It's okay. I've been kind of enjoying it. It's been interesting seeing Barry and his year one life and what he does. He took out a bullet from his. He got shot in the last issue. He took out his bullet. He kind of vibrated himself to do like a little hand surgery to bring it out. So he was pretty worried with that because I guess last time, all the other times he tried to do that, like things would explode. So he was like not sure how he was going to do it, but he pulled it off. But yeah, still cool stuff. On to Marvel. The only thing I really got to try to read was War of the Realms, and I didn't get to finish it. But yeah, late start today, and there's a lot of good books out, man. Got a lot of good stuff. What did you read, John?
As far as Justice League Dark, I do want to get around to reading it. I'm probably going to have to wait, do some kind of trades, or I was hoping to try the DC app, but obviously that's going to be short lived, so I might just skip.
Do you think the app's going to close down?
I don't know. That's a discussion we should have. We should have that a little bit.
I really don't think it is. So I know Warner Brothers.
I would hope that they can keep it up and running, but I don't know. I don't know who takes that on. I don't know how that whole system would work. Mm-hmm. So I think, it's going to be complicated, and I don't think Warner Brothers is going to want to hold the bag on it. So
there's this big rumor that Warner Brothers is making big. They just hired 2 new people to run the company. They have a serious new person running the company. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, because we know there's a Warner Brothers app coming out, and it's probably going to have like all the Looney Tunes library, a lot of older stuff like that, which is awesome. But that's not comics, though. I think the DC app is going to survive, in my opinion. And plus, there's such a great back catalog of classic things you can't buy or read anymore. And like it's too expensive to buy like this Golden Age volumes over and over the Omnis. Like it's the most feasible way to read old school Golden Age comics, like in Silver Age or whatever age have you. Like the only affordable way to read that stuff is get the
DMZ app. I've loved the Marvel version. I use it for, like you're saying, older books. I don't have to worry about buying every single issue of a certain run. I can read the ones that I'm missing. My girls can pick up on stories that they have never had a chance to read. And so I totally want to do the same thing for DC. My worry is that I'm getting on the bandwagon after it's already crashed and burned.
Comic Head 84 and I, because I was worried about that too happening, and I was like, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll give you my Hulu password, and he gave me his DC password. So I was like, I'd give you the DC app password, but that's like the one thing I don't own, so I don't want to give that away because I have like a million subscriptions to everything. But I was like, you know what?
That's amazing. I love it. There's some folks that jumped in the chat. I wanted to shout out. Marvel Hunter came in. Let's see. Mr. Gretzky came by. Rag718. Thank you for joining us. Count Von Strange. Comic Man Andy. Let's see. Did I miss somebody? Kachung is in here. Thank you for coming by, everybody. Gray Matter Hulk. Let's see. Jonathan. I got some. I wanted to say I bought a book during Bake the Snake's auction.
Wow, it's beauty.
Delish.
Awesome cover. So I framed that one up so that it can be a little decorative here behind me. So I got a little Spider-Man thing going.
Decorative. That's the word for it.
Decorative. Hey. Shout out to Bake the Snake. He's a real awesome guy. Ships things so airtight. It was awesome. So if you run another auction, you should definitely check out Bake the Snake. He's a really great member of the community.
I got my first CGC slab, John.
Ooh, let's see that bad boy.
It's just Del Auto, Grim Knight #1. Nothing special. It's just I love Batman with guns, as you guys know.
Yeah, you do.
I love Del Auto, so it's kind of a great, really cheap, affordable way of getting both in one world, And I always wanted to have a CGC slab, so it was just an easy buy. And same thing with the Del Auto 1000 variant.
Yep.
Finally came in the mail, so I was really glad to have that. And then I like Black Cat as well, so I got the Perillo one. This one is I think a limit of 600. And then I got the trade other one, the dress on there was 1,000. This one is the art germ, which I know JD you're not a fan of, but I love that.
I just bust his balls.
Yeah. This one though is his limited version variant. I got it for half off because the guy said it had a crease, a little on the spine, but I don't see anything. So I think I just got like a nice art germ one for half off, and I got one with trade for super cheap. But I think that's all I picked up recently.
Perillo's awesome. He's becoming one of my favorites now.
Did you guys get?
Remember
those-
C2E2? You were with me when I got this.
yeah, dude, that's awesome.
I got it back today. Yeah,
I've been picking up
or not today,
this
last week.
Faithless Bags covers, man. I got the 1,
Oh.
2, and I got like the second pressing of 1, and then
That
I got
was the hard one
the
to
new
find.
3. Yeah, and then I got the new
Nice.
3. I'm wondering if they're gonna make a second of issue 2. I haven't heard anything about that yet
No.
because that'd be cool. But the next one, the reason I bring that up is because the next one, issue 4, the back cover is by Jenny Frison. So
Ooh.
I'm so curious to see what that looks like because I love her art so much and I love Jenny Frison, man, just as a
Epic.
person too. Like that's
Yeah.
gonna be incredible. So I'm really looking forward to that. But that's the whole reason I brought those up.
Alex says, "Faithless, open those up."
Yeah. Oh no.
You just go on Instagram. You can find those pictures.
That's the after hours show.
Alec also mentioned this Dodson cover for War of the Realms 6. This is the one I chose to
Terry
get.
Dodson. Yeah.
And I just thought it was epic goodness. And of course, I'm a Jane Foster fan, so the fact that she'd be, all the issues I bought in this run basically were like solo character covers. So this was like, yeah, that's the one that I
That
want.
might be the only cover that has that hammer on it.
Is that the gold?
Yeah, the like shattering hammer or whatever.
That's like
Yeah.
from like the Ultimate Universe. That like
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
exist
the
anymore.
only one with that. Yeah, that would be the only one you've ever seen with it. Yeah.
That's a good spec book there, John.
There you go, John.
That's why I bought it.
Always playing spec. Always playing.
Big time spec guy here.
I love it when we bust John.
So I snagged the second part of that X-Men Grand Design Ed Piskor run. I'm really enjoying. This is the 2-part Extinction storyline, which again is like all my favorite X-Men stories. And just to be able to kind of see them all again in a new light is kind of awesome. So I'm excited to read that.
There's some really cool spreads. Like I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he always puts up his art, and has really insane spreads and super detailed with his like superheroes. This animation style is totally different. It's really unique.
How long is this creative team going for? I think only 1 or 2 more, right?
Just a little bit longer, yeah.
Yeah, because I want to see their end result of everything, and then I'm getting the older I get, and the more I want trades.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm like, all right, when is this thing done so I can get the trade? Except for something like War of the Realms or something that I'm really 100% committed to, no matter what.
Right.
Something
It's
I've been like
exciting,
iffy. I wait for that. So it was a good run. Tell me, what do you think? The whole set in its run.
Yeah. I totally agree. I feel like whenever it's a story you're super excited for or interested in, like you got to see, like you got to get the issue when it comes out.
Right.
But it's something like you're like, that sounds cool, looks cool. Like, or if it's really complicated or convoluted, like then you kind of want the trade or an omni of it, you know. So you understand everything full.
I think Immortal Hulk is the one I keep saying is going to be the best.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, definitely bring that omnibus. I'm hoping they do the first 13 where they go all the way through Hulk and Hell. Yeah.
Hulk and Hell. That would be a great. That would just be perfect. You know, it would make a fortune on that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell.
Yeah.
So I got Flash Year One, like you're saying. I'm 2 issues back on that, so I still need to catch up and read those.
People are raving about it. People love it.
Yeah, that Flash one, man. I figured we'd get kind of an origin story of Turtle, you know, the Turtle or whatever, and it does in this issue. It's kind of like a two panel page layout, but they're really small squares. And it's kind of a little jarring at first. You got to kind of get up close and read it. But it's really interesting and a really tragic story towards the end of it. You know, he kind of has like a little twist at the end. You know, where he says he's kind of crazy, unfortunately, because he started out as a good guy. So it's kind of a shame to see that happen. But it's been pretty decent. Been enjoying that. I'm glad you're reading Flash.
Well, yeah, you can thank the comic triple threat Perry and Jabroni and Rod for throwing that one out there.
Hell yeah, love those guys.
Jack Yo says that this Extinction Grand Design issue 2 was the end of that story.
It was, yeah.
I don't know if he means the end of that 2-parter, the Extinction storyline, or the end of the entire run.
I think it's the end of the entire thing because
Okay.
I believe that the one prior was Second Coming. I think that was 2 issues. And then the Grand Design was the first, I think, 4 or 5 issues. So I think this is all of it. I think it's done now.
The best thing I read from last week, and I finished it over the weekend, was the next Daredevil issue 7. I don't think I mentioned it last week. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, is Mark Waid taking that over or not?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that'll be a great trade as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Chip
really
Zdarsky
enjoying
run?
this
Yeah.
storyline. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the first two storylines have been really great, and I'd like to hope that Zdarsky sticks with it for a little while. But I don't know his plans.
I've really been appreciating Chip Zdarsky recently, man. Just as a writer, his Spider-Man life story has been phenomenal, and also his Marvel 2-in-1 was crushing it. Like I really wish he would have took over Fantastic Four instead of Dan Slott. He was just doing such a great job. So I've just really been digging that guy a lot recently.
Kat Wren Figures is in the chat. She's shouting out the Comic Core contest, and we're going to do a little segment on that here in just a little bit. But if you want to jump in and give some
Kat,
details on the contest,
jump in.
You are more than welcome. Just shoot JD a message on.
Well,
on Facebook.
I'll just shoot it out there.
So if you have the time, Kat, we'd love to hear from you. The other two books I got were for book club tonight. Like you were saying, I read Batman Damned issue 3, and again, the artwork is unbelievable. And Zatanna looks amazing.
You got a little back.
I think I would probably just give it a thumb up for that alone. Like that's worthy of okay. You did it. You did it right 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, totally.
Taillight, that one taillight frame.
Yep.
Sealed
and little headlights there too, and before. Yeah.
This is true.
That is true.
And then after we read that with the Burke Family 54 tonight on my channel, we're gonna follow it with some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I've never read any Power Rangers. This is that really shiny cover for Power Rangers.
I love that cover.
We're gonna be reading a little bit of that. And Kat Wren says she'll give us in about 10 minutes. She'll be able to join us. That's awesome.
I really wanted to read the Power Grid story. And I didn't know if it was available on trade yet.
I don't know
because I think that leads up to that. I just heard it was really good and phenomenal.
So I want to talk a little bit about War of the Realms and how it finished out. I know that you guys have already got into a little bit. I want to say for me that there were parts of it that I loved. I mean, seeing Jane Foster get the hammer back and dive back into the battle was just killer. Seeing the evolution of some of these characters, like the current Thor that we have right now, seeing the reveal of Laufey and sort of what happens to Laufey was really kind of cool.
Very tight, very good story.
I was really frustrated by certain other parts. That last little Venom moment, I mean, they basically put a commercial in the middle of the comic. I was like, this is stupid. I got so frustrated at that. Like, nobody talks like that. Like, he literally climbs out of like wherever he was and says, okay, now I got to get back to my comic. I'm going to be fighting Carnage next week. Tune in, and runs off.
That's funny.
It's so good. I got so frustrated reading that panel. I was like, why are you doing this? All you have to do is just have him crawl off, and it's like, fine, we all are going to grab it. Donny Cates is writing it. Do you really need it as a commercial in the middle of your comic? Like, those little kind of things kind of irked me, where I was like, no, we're setting this up. Tune in next week and read this.
That's how
what they didn't do is the one that I loved the most was the Jane Foster moment. The last sort of panels of her, they don't say, hey, tune in for Valkyrie or whatever. Instead, they just give you some really powerful moments that make you wonder, I wonder what's going to happen next for Jane, so that I want to buy that comic. I'm not busy going, they just threw me another commercial to go read Jane Foster, right? I thought those moments played better than the ones that were way too on the nose. I was like, oh, come on, guys. Like, just pull it back 10 steps. Like, you're good. It was a compelling enough story. And again, the Laufey stuff. And I did want more Daredevil, obviously. That's going to always be the thing that irked me. I should probably have read War Scrolls just to get my full Daredevil fix.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably end up grabbing that, reading that online when it drops. So I wanted him to keep some remnant of his god powers, even if it was just some subtle little part, because I think it would be very compelling to have that.
They had an advertisement for it.
Yeah, I don't mind the actual advertisement. It bugged me when it was like part of the story and they were doing an advertisement.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that for Jane.
Who's writing this? This is
the last shot of Jane is really
Jason
you know
Aaron's
who's writing this? You know who's writing this?
Isn't Jason Aaron writing Valkyrie?
No.
Please say Chip Zdarsky.
Realms Master Architect Jason Aaron and superstar Al Ewing of Immortal Hulk will join forces.
Yeah, Aaron and Ewing. Yeah. It's going to be good, man.
Yeah, Airboy, he doesn't really break the fourth wall, but Venom does talk very much out of character. And maybe it was designed to be tongue in cheek and campy, but
It kind of is because of what. Yeah, let me show you.
It felt like an editor wrote that panel because they wanted to sell more comics.
That has been my biggest gripe with
that.
Yeah, that has been my biggest gripe with Donny Cates recently. I feel like every single thing he writes is like, oh, hey, yeah, no one really read this or whatever or something, or Death of Inhumans, or they have a line in there, like, yeah, I did this. He's always like advertising his own shit over and over in every single goddamn book. And like, that's understandable, but like as a money, I would probably do the exact same thing. If you're like a writer, you like connect all your stories and then advertise them in each and every single story. I understand from a business perspective, and that's a smart move. But like at the same time, it's like for story-wise and storytelling, and like it kind of sucks. Like if you notice it, a lot of people don't really realize that stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's cool, it's funny, he's a cool guy, and it's a cool story." Like yeah, he is, but I think it's a cheap way, and it cheapens the story.
Well, and my thing is, when Donnie's back on Venom, everybody's gonna buy it anyways. Like, why do you need? You don't even need it. What would you use that panel? That Venom panel in a way that just makes us want to know more about Venom. Not,
I mean, you might have seen there's the panel from Thor.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is very well. I mean, Thor was probably the better book. I think it's a better book, but the ending.
So overall, I'd say War of the Realms. I really liked it. I just felt like there were moments that I was like, "Come on, you're better than this. I want you to really finish like on the best note possible."
Yeah.
And there were little things that kind of irked me, but again, I liked the role that Daredevil played. I just wanted more, and my attitude in general is if I just want more, then somebody did it right. Like do it. That's a sign of a writer doing a good job or an artist doing a good job. If I come away wanting more, I don't want to come away wanting less.
Right.
Right.
My favorite thing about
Venom moment was a little like I want less. Like do less.
This was another Venom key panel, and if you see that is just ridiculous. Wow. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This book is very, very top notch. Top notch. So
I think my favorite thing about War of the Realms has been the different character interactions with each other. It's people that you wouldn't really interact with each other normally. I thought it was really cool seeing Punisher just demolish trolls and stuff. And I'm really excited to read the issue 3 of 3 of the Punisher War of the Realms tie-in because I've really been just enjoying him just demolish people. He's like in his zone, just in war.
Where do you think Wolverine's going? Because Wolverine says he's taking 5 days off, right? And getting drunk for 5 days is what he said.
Until Hickman comes and is ready for him.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
He's taking a break.
And that was my only real frustration is at the end it felt like they were trying to pitch us more comics instead of just really nailing the one they were telling. And that was my only irk, and it didn't happen a whole lot, just a little bit, but it was enough to put that in taste in your mouth.
Did you guys read Avengers?
Everything else was
today?
So good.
I wanted to. Did you guys read Avengers today? I wanted to read Avengers. I didn't get to it because in the one issue prior, they brought up Cosmic Ghost Rider. Was in hell with Johnny Blaze. It says we're gonna race. To be continued in Avengers. I was like, oh man, I think that's today though. I think Avengers.
I didn't see it today.
I didn't either. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's in there because I'm pretty sure that came out today.
Oh, I did not see it.
Any Sonic Cat to explain some rules?
Not quite, but I don't mind doing the best I can to talk about it. So for those of you that don't know, I appreciate all of you guys for coming through the chat. I see Comic Core Chad is in there, unless that's you, JD. I'm not always sure.
No, that's Chad.
All right, Chad is in the chat. Good to see you, sir. And if I make a mistake, Chad, and you want to correct me, please feel free to do it. But let me give you the basics as far as I understand them. Comic Core itself is offering an incredible giveaway. And you can find the video. If you go through the Comic Core's videos, you'll see a contest entry. Chuckload of Comics does a great job kind of like pumping up this contest and letting you know what's going on. And then he explains what you need to do, which is simply make a video on YouTube telling us, the Comic Core, why we should pick you to win our main prize. Now, what is the prize? Well, we are going to fly 2 people. So I guess it's 1 winner, but it's 2 tickets, 2 airfare tickets, 2 tickets to the con, and a hotel stay for 1 member of the comic community based on the quality of their video that they make. It's a huge giveaway. Well, easily the biggest giveaway I've seen on the comic community up to now. And the idea is all you have to do is make a video telling the Comic Core why they should pick you to come along. Now, JP Comic Budget Collecting, he's in the chat. He made a video earlier today. It was excellent. And it's exactly what they're looking for. He just talked a little bit about himself, a little bit about the comic community, what it all means to him, and what he would hope to get from going to Baltimore. So this is the Baltimore Comic Convention. It's a huge deal. If you look at the website for the Baltimore Comic Con, there's a lot of great people coming. I know, Jason, you're going.
Yeah, it's stacked. Last year was incredible. This Baltimore Comic Con last year was insane just because it's not as packed as like New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con or C2E2, but you have all the same like creators there pretty much. It's just less people, and it's mostly just comic book creators and writers and artists, not so much the pop culture art, like actors and things like that. Just it's mainly strictly focused on comic books. And so Baltimore Comic Con is just an incredible experience because there's no wait. If you want to get stuff signed, it's barely any wait whatsoever. Nowhere near as C2E2 or New York Comic Con. It's just a great experience, and we're all going to be there. We're going to hang with a lot of homies. We see each other all the time in videos. We got to hang out in person. You got to be in our crew and hang out with us, man. It's fantastic. So make a video like JP did.
Comic for Thomas, thank you for coming by. And so as I understand it, the contest is open to anybody except for the Off the Rails crew on Friday nights. The original Comic Core group, along with JD, I believe. They are the voters. They're the ones that are going to be watching the videos and then picking the winner, that crew. So they are the only ones that are officially ineligible. And the contest, as far as I could understand, I think it runs through July 4th. So there's still at least a full week for you to make your video. Just please make sure you go onto that video from the Comic Core, leave a comment, line and let us know that you made your video so that we make sure we see it. Sometimes people make a video and then people don't actually recognize it. Hello, look,
all right,
my favorite comic community member, Mark, is here.
Wait, me? I thought it was her that was the favorite.
Junior over there.
So did I mess up anything, Chad or Kat? Is there anything that I blew it as far as the information for this contest?
Anybody can do it.
Mm-hmm. Anybody.
Anyone.
From the United States.
Capcom video.
Honestly, God, John, I was hoping you'd make a video. Anybody can do it. We're going to, after Friday, we should be able to say how many grand prize winners we're going to have.
Oh, wow.
Well, not just one.
Wow.
We may have, honestly.
We're bringing everybody. We're Oprah. You're coming to Baltimore. You're coming to Baltimore.
You get a trip to Comic-Con. So do you.
Chuck's video was actually his entry video.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
Because I was like, hey, I need to make a video. He goes, well, I can make one. And I was like, yeah, they count it as your entry video.
Or nah?
I don't think they want to see it.
I don't think they want to see that.
I got burned.
Gray Matter Hulk says Chad Winfrey.
What's that?
Gray Matter Hulk in the chat says Chad Winfrey, like Oprah Winfrey.
Oh yeah.
You're bringing everyone. You're bringing everyone.
Honestly, if we could give it to everybody, we would. Literally. Yeah. We're gonna actually have. I can say this. The grand prize is that we're going to put you up with us, and you get to have an insane amount of lack of sleep for a weekend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Free sleep
that house
deprivation
does not
clinic.
sleep.
We don't sleep.
Really sell it here, Chad. Really sell it.
You will get the I don't know if the triad is down there, but we're going to join some kind of really crazy
I'm the wire, dude. This is Baltimore. Let's just be honest.
We were in Chicago, man.
Yeah.
It was worse.
Murder capital of the U.S., right?
But we are going to have multiple tickets to be given away throughout. So there's going to be more than just. We are going to have more than just a first place, second place, third place. We might go all the way to 5 or 6.
Wow.
So make a
do your
video.
videos
Everyone
now.
make videos. Everyone make videos. That's awesome.
And I got to go with Jason last year, which unfortunately we had to cut our trip short. And it
Oh
was
yeah, the last day on Sunday. That's right.
You're
Yeah.
still recovering.
it was insane. And just to be with these guys and girls is something that you'll always remember, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I've grown closer to the people that I was with in Chicago than in a short amount of time. And even though, like, the first thing I remember sitting in the house and JD texts me and says, "Hey, I just landed." I'm like, "Okay, here's our address." He goes, "I'm going to get whiskey." And I said, "Perfect." And he shows up and he's like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you." He looks at me. He goes, "Man, you are uglier in person than you are." But I mean, that's what it is. It's just a bunch of ball busting and good times.
It's
So,
family.
It is.
No, totally.
It was
Or
so
just don't
family.
get. Yeah, I mean, just don't get the con flu.
Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
got George Perez. I bet I did show my George Perez.
basically C2E2 was the first time like we'd actually gone with like a group or been like a huge thing before. And I was like, I don't know what to expect. I've never met any of these people in real life before. Are they just as crazy as they are online? I mean, I don't know. We're sharing a house with all these people, but I'll tell you right away, like it was just so comfortable, you know, hugs all around. Everyone cheered when we saw the great legend
Of course, right?
approaching. I mean, it was great. It was so much fun, and definitely some of the memories from that weekend are some of the best con stories, period, you know, in my books anyway.
I'm surprised none of us fell through the floor
That's true. That's true.
from that basement
Even
video that we
no
made.
no one got murdered there.
Yeah,
you know?
nobody was murdered.
There were meat hooks.
There were
That's all
meat
good,
hooks, but
man.
nobody got
At the Chinese restaurant, Mark, we don't know. So
No, that's a valid point. That's why I ordered a squid, because I knew it wasn't going to be anything else.
I think we ate
Chinese at the karaoke place, yeah.
We had Tracy.
Oh, that karaoke place. Chad, I swear, I still saw somebody die. There was a girl that died.
That's what we're talking about.
And then all of a sudden, after she died, we got food. It was
I know. It was a really weird experience. It was like 20 minutes after.
You ordered pot stickers. Right away.
So make a video and join in the massacre.
So it's kind of cool about it though. We are going. The guys that started the con, their shop is called Comics, Cards, and Collectibles down in Baltimore. The owner is going to be on a lot of our shows because he wants to be part of all five nights in the upcoming weeks.
Very
Cool.
good. Big
And
word. Big words. He's doing so well.
what do you say?
He's just proud of you.
And
So
then I
proud.
guess, and then this week we're gonna make our big announcement on Friday.
Are you guys playing as Eric Cartman?
Well,
Nice.
I'll
That's,
be going as Division 2, at least my avatar on there, and I will be going as Red Arrow again.
Very cool.
I wanted to go as
Arsenal.
I wanted to go as the Hangover.
Zach Galifianakis.
Bradley Cooper and Zach Galifianakis. I was gonna have JD go as a Booster Gold Bradley Cooper, and I was gonna go as a Blue Beetle Zach Galifianakis with a baby Darkseid.
Oh my God.
There we go. That'd be awesome.
That can be
That's a
done.
great idea. That's
Got
awesome.
the
That's a
Bjorn
great idea.
if he wants it.
Yeah, we have a baby Bjorn if you want to borrow it.
He just puts the cat in it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Okay. Bring it.
Oh,
I have
I'm gonna be cosplaying as Hellboy.
Oh, also, Katie told me I could not get the 15-passenger van.
just the 25.
But
Just a
it's
school
like,
bus.
Exactly.
it's you, Carson, and Kat.
Yeah, it's 3 people.
It's
Why
me,
would you
Carson,
get a
It's 3
15-passenger
people.
van?
He wanted a 15-passenger van. I
because
said
we pick
no.
people up on the way, man.
We're going on a road trip.
Just road trip.
You're just gonna pick up random hikers.
Exactly. It's like, hey, you want to go? Oh God, let's go.
We're driving from Indiana, so
Yeah. Oh, that is so cool.
it's the updated one. That's awesome.
You're really great at modeling.
He's doing good.
He's got to talk
Doing
though.
good.
This is Venom ripping the symbiote's ripping off the skull, but the tongue's going to be in here. So
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
been working on it. This is a prize.
See, now I want to enter because I want that.
You can have it, Cat.
I'll put the video in for you.
Just a chat original.
Yeah.
I'll do the.
Mark
I'll
needs
do
to
the.
do his own video, right? Because he doesn't get to go otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do it from the box.
I'm just gonna ship him in a box. He doesn't get to be in the vehicle.
JD,
I don't-
He's gonna go through USPS.
JD made me self-conscious.
Why?
I had to go change the hat.
You said carbon.
I was gonna be like,
A third time.
Strong.
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
You-
jump out of here. I have to set up my next show before this one goes off the rails.
Yep.
I didn't get to the comic community shout out, but I want to mention a channel that I've been catching up on and enjoying lately called Bar Oblivion. And maybe you've seen a couple of their members around the community doing some cool things. But if you want to just search Bar Oblivion, you'll find this cool comic channel, and they're on Instagram as well. I want to shout them out. Obviously, thanks to Mark, Kat, and Chad for coming by and shouting out the contest. It does end on July 4th, yes?
Yes.
sure.
Sure. Oh, okay. Well, maybe Chad changed the rules on me.
I didn't change any. I said, can somebody make rules?
There are no rules. You make a video, you're going.
Just make a video and say, hey, I subbed you up. Cool. You're in.
All right, you guys. Well, you have fun.
All right, John.
I'll catch you again soon.
Yep.
Bye.
My community shout out is going to be an Instagram shout out to a guy by the name of Stray Flexing. He's a friend of TJ, and a couple of guys in the chat have talked to him recently. He was going to be on Golden Guys this week. He will be on this upcoming week. It'll be really good. So check him out on Instagram. We'll get him on YouTube, and he'll make his debut on the Golden Guys. Heck of
Nice.
a stage collection.
My community shout out goes to SNB Network. They're going to have their 150th anniversary episode, and they invited a bunch of their fans on, a handful of people, and they invited me to be on. So that's really cool. I've been watching them for like 2 years. Yeah. So I'm going to go on and talk face to face with some people I've been watching for a while. So it's going to be really cool. So we're going to drink whiskey. That show is Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So come and join, subscribe to SNB Network, and hang out with the Comic Cast.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So,
I'll give a shout out to Alex, the comic hoarder, who had a video for the first time in a while the other day.
Yeah.
If you check him out, Alex is the man.
Alex is
one
a
of the-
great guy.
He's one of the guys that inspired us. Hey, it's actually been 1 year this Friday that the comic hoarder's been on.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Remember that? Hey, Jason, do you remember? Do you remember that pizza dude?
The pizza dude?
Yeah, that came
Okay.
in. He was like, "Where's the hose?"
Oh, yeah. The pizza guy, he saw it was a huge party, and he was like, where the hose at? We're like, all right, man. Well, exit's that way, so we'll just take this.
Oh my god, that's like that's still up there. If you guys want to check that out, that dude was hilarious. He looked like Mario, but came to life.
Funny.
Like, Mario.
That's so awesome.
To do it.
Man,
one
one
more,
year the Comic Corps.
one more shout out to Bear Island Comics contest.
Yes.
It's such a good contest. People making great videos, great responses. This is one where the theatrics come in. You think we're nuts on the hunt. I mean, I think everybody's trying to outdo on this one. It's pretty good. There's a lot of shout outs and call outs on this. This is a fun contest. Great set of books to win. Bear Island Comics, and I've seen some entries that are just watch them again and again. It's hysterical. So that's my other shout out, my YouTube shout out. Sorry.
Very cool. Yeah, he's a funny guy, man.
Funny.
He's hilarious. Yeah.
We've had him on the list. We've had him on a few things. Yeah.
That video he put up himself was just really good. It was just really funny. He's a great guy. I really hope we get to hang out with him sometime soon.
Yep.
So I have two community shout outs.
Very
Okay.
cool.
One on Instagram and one on YouTube. So Instagram, Lindsay's Geeked Out Knickknacks. I know she's got a channel on YouTube, yes, but she was talking about how she was reading the first appearance of Batman as a digital comic, and I was like, heck yes, definitely awesome. Always really great content there, and a really positive member of the community.
For
I
sure.
feel like doesn't get enough shout outs and enough love. So mad love for Lindsay.
She
Definitely
always
gotta
tags
support my
me.
girl.
She tags me in everything in Instagram, so I see everything she always posts. Which
Right?
is awesome.
Cool.
She's like one of the few people that does that. I was like, oh, cool. Like, so I like Lindsay. You know, she's a good gal.
And then shout out to the weirdo sitting next to me, Mark D. Caranighty, because he's about ready to break 20 subs, and I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
He never puts out videos.
The first video I have on there is from 9 years ago. I have like 3 videos of my whole channel.
So that's why you need more stuff of you just eating things.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
What's Mark eating? It's a show.
What is that thing called? Like where they were doing videos of it. I think Bueller did a video with that guy Jeff one time where they ate stuff.
Mukbangs.
Yeah, Mark? Why don't you do that, man?
Mark, you need to
I-
dress as Galactus. Just cosplay as Galactus, and you just eating things
Just
constantly.
be the devourer of worlds.
Yeah.
I don't want to do a McBain. I'd rather go for McMurder. Those are the best.
What?
You don't know what a McMurder is?
Oh, what is that?
Explain your
Is
order.
that like chicken
Okay, a
and beef and
McMurder
everything?
is when you order 2 chicken sandwiches from McDonald's, a Big Mac, and a large order of fries with a diet, like whatever kind of drink. You take the 2 chicken sandwiches and you put them in between your Big Mac, and that creates your sandwich. And you get rid of the bread in between, and then you put the large fry on top of everything in between it, and you eat it all as one.
You just need
And
you need McRib bread, kind of just McRib on
Yeah,
the top.
Oh, that's better.
I have a gluten allergy.
But then the diet
Basically,
drink makes you feel better about your life, knowing that you're not going to die.
Basically,
Yes.
your arteries are going to kill you.
Yeah, the artery is going to clog up, but it's a McMurder.
Oh god, that sounds
That's-
awful.
Don't forget to put the ketchup on there.
Oh lord.
There will be a contest at Baltimore, a McMurder contest. Who
Maybe
can
one of the
eat
fastest.
two?
Who can actually survive eating that?
Who can eat 2 of them fast? And we're not doing anything.
I can do it.
There will be a prize. We'll figure that out when we get there.
Actually, I'm going to show you guys the
You
sandwich
should
I had
literally
last
just
week.
do a contest of
Yeah.
who can out eat Mark.
I was
No,
thinking
look,
that too.
okay.
Yeah, we should have some fun things to do there at Baltimore at the booth. Like
well, there.
little
Well,
contests.
All
I
right,
mean,
so this sandwich is 2 6-inch sandwiches put into one, and it weighed over, a pound?
Just me.
It was just meat and just whatever. I finished it in like 5 minutes.
Oh wow.
me and Alex Rodriguez, not Alex Rodriguez, me and Derek Peter have a lot of things in common. Not really, but kinda. Not
Okay.
really. Well, anyway, he banged like the entire
What?
Maxim magazine top 100, and I ate like their top 5 sandwiches.
Nice.
So in a way, we're like Eskimo brothers.
Connected.
We're Eskimo brothers, man. We eat
There you
things
go.
together.
Yeah, you thought about, banging a couple of them, so.
But the sandwiches?
Sandwiches?
No.
Why would I do with that? That was a sandwich. That's weird.
It's a hot dog.
There's some weird ones out there.
There. That's a valid
Hot
point.
dog's a sandwich.
A hot dog is not a sandwich.
A hot dog is its own category.
A hot dog has 5% of whatever for filler. Look it up.
Hot dogs are good.
Hot
like
dogs are
them.
great.
I love hot dogs.
Mm.
I love brats. I love all the fucking
Oh, brats are the best.
Well, brats are their own category, man.
yeah. Some
That was
Midwest.
good, good off
Midwest.
the rails. Good off the rails ending to tonight's show, I think.
Yep, we're talking about Brad,
That's how
Chad.
Comic Core rolls on Fridays.
Chad
you know?
there. Yep, this is what happens in a short time span,
It's
one or more. But it's fun. It's good. Thank you all for coming, joining us. We got John's Comics with Kids doing the comic review channel, Batman Damn 3.
Is that on his channel or White Whale's channel?
That is on John's Comics with Kids tonight.
Yeah, I really want to see that.
So if you guys want to be interested in the Batman Who Damned, check out his channel and have a good night.
Right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.